All right guys, what is going on? So today is the big day. We're gonna be decatting the Gsxr and installing a mid pipe. All right, make sure you guys stick around all the way to the end because I'm gonna be doing some exhaust clips towards the end with the mid pipe installed, so you don't wanna miss that. So make sure you have the bike on a stand so it's kind of raised up a little bit because it's kind of easier to be cutting like that. I'm gonna just remove the lower half of the fairing so I can kind of get to the exhaust. You're gonna wanna remove this bolt right here with an Allen key. This one, I already did that. And then up here, we have another one. I'm gonna see if we can just get away with removing the bottom half. So what you're gonna wanna do is, so when you remove the bolts, you're just gonna have to pull on it and pop it out just like that. Because this is kind of hard to get off, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it. This is a whole piece, just so I can get to it a little bit easier, because I don't wanna just pull this off and like break anything. So just be careful with everything. There's two more Allen keys up here, just like this. Just remove them. The biggest thing is make sure you stay organized. All right, so there's two you're gonna need to remove right here for this little piece, one right here and one right there. You just literally take the flathead, stick it in like this, turn it, and then it should just pop out just like that. Just pull it out, turn it, boom. This piece should just come out like that. So there is another one under here. It's kind of hard to see. Same thing, just put it in. There we go. So after you remove all the Allen keys and that piece back here, and then the pop pins and push pins and everything, all you're gonna wanna do is gently move it around like this. Just kind of take your time. Don't just pull it. You don't wanna break any tabs. Maybe stick your fingers in here just a little bit. Just kind of work that tab out just like that. And then once you have all the tabs out like this, now what you're gonna have to do is just pull on it, just like that. There's a piece in there that just pops out. There's a screw right here. You can't separate them unless this screw is out. And as you can see, this is on the inside. Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that so you don't just break it and pull it off. All right guys, so now we're gonna be cutting off the exhaust. All right, so to make the cut, I'm gonna be using a Sawzall. Okay, so just make sure you have the right blade. This blade is designed to cut through metal, so just make sure you got the right blade. Right here is where I'm gonna need to cut. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is cutting through nice. Remember, you cannot go back once you start doing this. And there we go. Man, that was actually pretty easy. So what you're gonna need to do to get the cat off after you cut it, there's a 12mm bolt that you're gonna need to get off. Just grab a 12mm socket, get that off. So then you go to the other side, same spot, there's another 12mm bolt, just get them both off. Once you get them both off, it'll just come right off. I kinda wanted to explain just how you cut this, all right? Make sure that you get a straight cut, that's pretty important. You want the weld to come off with the cat, so you wanna cut right there. I'm just gonna take the Dremel, kind of clean up the outsides, just kind of shave it down a little bit so the mid pipe slips on pretty easily, and that should be it. You guys can see there's some metal shavings in there, just take it right out. Now I've seen online people say, I've seen people weigh it, I think it saves around like 7 pounds, something like that, but this is really, really, really heavy, so it's gonna be nice. We're gonna go ahead and slip this on now, see how this thing sounds. Just tighten it up. There's little like slits on the mid pipe, and basically it's gonna take it and compress it and get it to be a nice fit on there. So it's pretty important. Make sure you guys get that pretty tight. I feel like that's really loose. That's gonna leak easily. Okay, so this is where I ran into a problem. I had to record this on a few different days. So if you guys look at this, when I slip this on, this is way too loose. This is not gonna work. What you're gonna have to do is figure out a way to bend the exhaust to make it fit, because you want it on there as tight as possible, and that just won't work. So I went and bought this little $2 exhaust clamp, or $3. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten this off the bike first and kind of get a tight fit. If you guys see these little tabs right here, can you see that? If you guys see these little tabs right here on the outside, if you see, this is like slightly bigger. So this right here is for you to tighten the exhaust. So I'm trying to get this as tight as possible. Okay, so I went ahead and just put the slip-on on. The idea is just to bend the pipe a little bit, make it a secure fit. Yeah, that's definitely bending. Bend it right there. Looks pretty decent. There we go. There. So it's way, way tighter now, way more secure. It was way too loose before, so anything was better than nothing. I kind of just wanted to bend it to get it to fit like better. What I'm doing now is I'm just tightening it down pretty good so I can shape it like exactly to the pipe that it's going on, which would be the header. It seems to be working though, so. I could use this and cut that. If that's what I have to do, I might do that, but I'm gonna try using the clamp because I think this should work pretty good now. Nobody ever said anything about this. I was kind of under the impression you could just slip this on and be fine. That's definitely not the case. You're gonna have to figure out a way to bend the exhaust to make it fit correctly. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to do is just make it not leak. And you don't want it loose. You want it to be a tight fit. This isn't even clamped or bolted in. And you can see how much better of a fit this is than before. See how that is? Oh yeah.
That's way better.
That's so much better. I don't even have it bolted up, but this is so much more secure, guys. I got the clamp tight on there. Don't like tighten it down all the way to where it's gonna snap. Just get it on there pretty tight. I'm gonna be removing the set valve, so it won't matter much for me. Make sure that the bolt isn't in the way of like the set valve so it opens and closes properly, because if it's not opening and closing properly, that's a problem. Your light's gonna come on and yeah, it's not gonna run right. So just make sure you're not blocking the set valve. You got a bolt here from the Cat. Just take the bolt and then they give you like a little nut and just put it on the back. You need a 13 millimeter for the back and then a 12 millimeter for the front. Put it on the back right here. Let's get that pretty tight. There we go. And the pipe's on there pretty good. So I'm gonna start it up. Once I apply this, and I can't start it for like 24 hours. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna put this on the outside of the header and then slip this on, and then when it dries, this is like a gasket kind of thing. It's high temperature, so this should work. All right, so the way you want to test for leaks, where I just installed the exhaust, when I turn the bike on, if you put your hand under here, you shouldn't feel air. And then sometimes it'll also like physically leak as well. I still have to put that gasket maker on. That should do the trick, but like I said, if it doesn't, just buy a clamp like this and then cut off the ends, and then that should really work, because this is much, much stronger. Yeah, I'm gonna go from there, and I'll keep you guys updated and let you know if it's leaking or not, and yeah. All right, so now we're gonna go take it out and see what it sounds like. Go get some exhaust clips of it on the highway. I know you guys wanna hear what it sounds like, so we're gonna go ahead and do that.